Tuesday, September 26, 2020. Curbing recent security breaches, government to block data leakers' websites. First Workaholics Treatment Center to open in 2024. No phone, no laptop, just rest. Beachgoers report silver algae blooming on Alki Beach. Something's missing from the drawer. Did I misplace it? Somehow I feel like it's going to be a long, long night. Or not. Good evening. Hey, Arcaplacer. How are you? Not too shabby, I hope. It was a dark and stormy night. Everything's just fine. You sure? Positive. How about you, sir? How's work? My shift is over, so I'm free now. Nice. That reminds me, Mr. Hyde was here the other day. Oh, that's right. Did he tell you the reason for his visit? Yeah, he's moving back here, right? Or at least that's the plan. Yeah, what a nice surprise. He told me he's got a few things to discuss on that. Well, it's part of why I'm here tonight. Aside from getting myself a hot drink, that is. On that note, I'm so ready to take your order. Much obliged. So, Henry told me about the Indonesian ginger drink. It has milk, honey, and a couple of other stuff in it. I think it's called STMJ. I'll have a cup of that. STMJ. Milk, ginger, honey. And here's ID badge. Oh. I see I dropped my keycard here, huh? Thank you, Arcaplacer. Now I have a spare. Because I already made a new one. It's always good to have an extra one at hand. The only downside is that it cost me $100. Now I'm wondering where I should keep this one. Maybe in my locker at work? I'd hate to lose it there. Yeah, let's hope it never comes to that. One nutritious drink from the archipelago coming up. Thanks a lot. So what's in it again? It's a hot blend of egg, milk, ginger, and honey. The drink's name itself is in the ingredients: Susu, Tela, Madu, Jahe, milk, egg, honey, and ginger. Oh, it does have egg. That's right. No wonder it somewhat reminds me of eggnog. Albeit spicier and not as rich, but I can see why Henry likes it. It's a good stamina drink. He probably needs it to keep up with Rachel's work. You're probably right. As long as he remembers to take breaks. Maybe I should invite him for a drink here sometime. What do you think? That would be lovely. Then consider it done. You know what? I don't think Hyde will show up tonight. Oh, why's that? When I called him earlier to confirm, he sounded a little annoyed. And it's not exactly great outside either. I thought he liked this kind of weather. Him, yes. His car, not so much. That thing wouldn't survive in this kind of storm. Now that you mention it, you might be right. I used to drive him in that car back in the day. Did he ever tell you how old it is? Yep, gave me the whole backstory of it. Oh. I guess I'm just surprised he still uses it at all. The car clearly holds a special meaning to him. He was also quite sentimental about it, which makes me wonder if it was anything to do with him moving back here. What do you mean? He lived here before, right? Yeah. And he kept bringing up the past too. Are you saying his move is motivated by nostalgia? I was going to say homesickness, but I realized that makes no sense. I get what you're trying to say though. It's the strange longing for times gone by. Considering how fast things are changing these days. Maybe even too fast. Which is ironic, really. What is? Live long enough, you'll realize the only constant in your life is change itself. Things like shifting necessities, curveballs the world throws at you, decay. Just stuff we have to deal with indefinitely. Considering our lifespans, you'd think we'd get used to it at some point. But we never do. Never completely, anyway. I suppose the idea of getting used to change is a paradox in itself. Heh, this sounds about right. Perhaps nostalgia is like an anchor for dinosaurs like us. Keeps us from losing ourselves to the world's relentless speed. You get used to these after a while, huh? Pretty much. Oh, hey there. We meet again. Yes, hello. Excuse me for a moment. Got it. Welcome, Miss Ryona. Good evening. I'm meeting up with someone. Oh, okay then. How's your car, by the way? My car? Oh, you mean the tire? There's really no need for concern, as it was an easy fix. But thank you for asking. My pleasure. May I order a cup of Russian tea? Russian tea? Russian tea. There we go. And I still have the lighter, yeah. Russian tea for the lady Russian to deliver. That's a good one. This is perfect, by the way. Thank you. You're welcome. So, who are you meeting with, if I may ask? You should know, shouldn't you? After all, you were tasked to give me his contact info. Oh! Oh, that's right. So you two did end up connecting after all. We did, yes. But truth be told, I really wasn't sure about contacting him at all. Why is that? Because as far as I'm concerned, there was no real reason for me to do so. Nevertheless, I sent him an email the following night. Right after the completion of my final delivery at 3 a.m. That's pretty late. A little, but surely no worse than forgetting it altogether. But he replied straight away to my surprise. I had no idea he was such a night owl. Or perhaps just an extremely early bird? Right. I wonder if he ever sleeps. That should be a question for you too, miss. Oops. Anyhow, he answered me with an apology. He regretted his rudeness from when we first met. Which was another surprise, since I didn't think it was such a matter of concern. Well, he did return here the next evening looking for you. Did he? Yep, he said so himself. I see, how peculiar. In any case, we exchanged phone numbers and have been texting ever since. Then he said he wants to meet up and speak in person. Which is why I'm here now. But I'm still not quite sure why it's necessary. I mean, maybe he wants to chat and hang out. Perhaps. I suppose we'll see. Yeah, so Hyde's not coming tonight. Probably for the best given the circumstances. Is he okay? Yeah, he just wants to take it easy tonight. Understandable. Crash bang. My apologies for the surges. I was hoping it had become more stable as the days go by, but no need to apologize for something out of your control. That's right, you tried everything you could. I know, thank you for understanding. How you doing, miss? Hey there. Did you manage to resolve your issue with children? That's a weird question. Sorry? Oh, I mean the hospital admission problem from the other day? Oh, that. For a minute there, I thought I had beef with kids I was unaware of. Sorry for the misunderstanding. No worries, it was funny. It's only been a few days, so not much has changed. How about you? Feeling better? Yes. Well, I apologize for the way that I acted a few days ago. We all have our bad days, so don't worry about it. Thank you. Oh, while we're on the topic, I told Officer Georgie what happened to your car. Would you mind pointing out where you believe the incident took place? Sure. It was quite near the police station, actually. At a meter spot just outside of the now defunct library. Oh, the vacant building at the Bourne intersection? Yes, that's correct. I see. So it was originally a library? You know the area? I know of the property, yeah. It's been abandoned for a long time, but it's a heritage building, so I often wonder why nothing's been being done with it, since it's located in a very populated, culture-centric neighborhood. That's true. There's even an art college nearby. Right? Then again, I've always found the street a bit odd. Odd? How? It's just barren, especially if you consider the area. And the weird thing is, I feel like it wasn't always that way. Feel? Don't you mean remember? Nope, exactly what I said. It's a feeling, not a clear memory. Strange, isn't it? That is odd. Well, there used to be a flea market there a long time ago. Perhaps that is what you're recalling. A flea market, huh? The last time I drove there, I remember seeing nothing but concrete. Oh, wait. There was a single dead tree surrounded by strange trinkets. A dead tree, huh? No idea why I almost forgot about it. It stuck out like a sore thumb. About 8 feet tall, no leaves. It's been there forever too, as far as I know. That hawthorn tree was something of a landmark for us drivers. And the trinkets you spoke of were actually remembrances of sorts. Remembrances? Oh no. Hold on, I'm just going to recap a bit here, okay? Sure. Your car was vandalized near a metered parking spot in front of an abandoned library. On a seemingly deserted street within a busy area that has a large dead tree surrounded by remembrances for some reason. Sounds about right. Except the tree's no longer there. Oh? Are you serious, Pops? Why wouldn't I be? That's crazy. That's crazy, man, crazy. Good evening, gentlemen. Heya, everyone. Oh boy. I thought I'd be early, but you're already here, lady. Hello. Akablisa, for the love of all things holy, tell me my lighter is here. Well, you're in luck, because it is. Hot damn, thank goodness. Would you like me to get it for you now? Nah, it's fine. I'm just glad to know it's here. Just bring it with my drink later. Sure. Let me know when you're ready to order. Cheers. And you, buckaroo. Well. What's up, y'all? What's new? Evening, officer. We were just talking about the spot where Miss Rayona's car may have been vandalized. Oh? They got your car too, lady? Yes, but it's not a big issue. Still, sorry you had to experience that. Where did you park your car, miss? I can send you the coordinates, if you'd like. That'd be real swell. Got it. Okay. Oh. Is it within the area you expected, or...? Pretty much. The same location where I parked mine a week ago. I see. You can rest assured, we already increased patrols in that area. That's great. But I am the only one doing it at the moment. Bruh. Are you... Get back to work. That sucks. Hey, what's that? Am I hearing you, out of all people, doubting my skill, Akablisa? No, of course not. I just thought it means an unfortunate increase in your workload. Well, them's the breaks, I suppose. Anyway, give me your strongest espresso, Akablisa, and don't forget my lighter. Coffee. And your ladder. I feel like a green tea would be better, more longer lasting energy, but you know, you do you. Oh, there it is. Thanks, Akablisa. You probably think I'm being silly, but what can I say? It's my lucky charm. Yeah. It's borderline superstitious, I know. Don't you have anything of the sort? Well, I have a good reason to be superstitious. Whenever I don't have this with me, things happen. Kind of things. Right. Alright. Here comes the strongest espresso in the house. Cheers. Ah, perfect as always. Are you ready to order? Might as well. I'd like something desserty, because it's my cheat day. Sure thing. Any specifics in mind? Well, I saw this video of a Spanish hot cocoa drink yesterday. It was so thick, I thought it was chocolate sauce. The name also reminded me of a song, but for some reason I can't remember the title right now. You know, that sounds oddly familiar. For real? Then I'll have a thick cocoa. It's got milk and a little hot spicy kick to it. Let's try this. Hot cocoa drink coming up. Thanks. Akablisa? Yes? I don't think this is it. Okay, maybe I had it right the first time. I'll be honest, I'm lightly going off a guide sometimes. I feel like the first one I had was right. Nuh-uh. It's neither luscious nor thick enough. I'm sorry about that. Let me remake it for you. Nah, my fault for being vague. So don't worry about it, okay? Alright, thank you. So, Pops. Just earlier, you were telling me about your creepy patrolling experience, right? Was it in the same location as the lady's car was? Creepy patrolling experience? Well, I don't know if I should even talk about it. because maybe it's a tad too spooky, even for me. What happened? Tell 'em, Pops. It's not that big of a deal, honestly. Then all the more reason to talk about it, right? Maybe someone here will know something. You've got a point there. Y'all were talking about the area anyway, right? Yep. Well, I've been patrolling there the last few nights. This street itself is fairly straightforward. It's about half a mile round trip from the intersection and back. There's nothing much there either. A concrete sidewalk with metered parking spots. A fence here and there. And an unfinished construction site with a couple CCTVs dotted about. No tree? What tree? There used to be a dead tree in front of the old library. Huh? Oh, that old dead tree. It was uprooted by the city back in January. Ah. The commercial community decided it wasn't really a good look. So when the city started a massive cleanup project last year, well, they simply voted to get rid of it. I see. Why, what's up? We were actually talking about it earlier, and being a decades-old landmark aside, could there be something more to that tree than just, well, being old? You think so? That's what I think after listening to Miss Riona. You expecting something from me, Arcaplisa? Huh? Oh, no. I'm sorry if I crossed a line. You just seem to know a lot about it, and I don't want to mix up the facts. I understand. But I would like to hear the officer's spooky tale first, if you don't mind. Of course. Gladly, miss. Almost forgot about me there, huh? So anyway, patrolling on that street is an easy task. Only 4 to 5 cars would park there overnight at most, which makes keeping track a breeze. Sounds ideal enough. As expected though, nothing happened the first 2 nights. But yesterday was a different story. Hold on. Spooking him out. What a stage setup, eh? Huh. Oh, phew, there we go. Just really giving into that atmosphere, you know? Thank goodness. Sorry about that. Please continue. Alrighty. Well, it was nearing the end of the shift, and I found nothing was amiss. There were only 4 cars parked that night, 2 spaced across the street, and 2 on the opposite corner, side by side. My plan was to leave after I walked the one last round, to make sure everything was okay. And a reminder, you can cover the whole place in only 8 minutes. Okay. Then at the end of the walk, I took a drag on my cigarette. Smug as I was about to clock out, thinking 'twas another night, job well done. Right? Wrong. I was immediately faced with the impossible. 3 cars, 2 side by side, 1 across the street. All tires flattened. That's 12 vandalized tires for you, in a span of less than 10 minutes. That is so strange. It would take several minutes to flatten just 1 tire. So it's a team of people. I see. And that's if you're using the right tools. Right? But that wasn't all. Oh no, it wasn't. Because that was the moment when the streetlights went out. Suddenly, and all at once. What? Right after that, I heard flurries of footsteps and laughter. They were going farther and farther away from the scene, and yet I saw nothing at all. Oh. Are you sure? Did the CCTV catch anything? The infrareds actually managed to catch something, but the videos weren't clear at all, so I'm still investigating it. Jeez Louise, Pops. That's way spookier than what you told me in the car. But it's cool though. I may be laughing now, but I almost pissed my pants there, you see. Well, whoever they were, they sure worked fast, right? Anyway, Akaplisa, I think I want another drink. All that talking is making my throat dry, and coffee just isn't cutting it. Roger that. What would you like? What do you suggest? How about some tea with ginger and honey? Sounds good. Can you use a red flower stuff you have as a base? You mean hibiscus? Definitely. Okay then, I'd like a red flower with ginger and a touch of honey. Ginger, honey. Easy, coming right up, officer. To J. Rosella. One piping hot to J. Rosella for you. Oh, what does it mean? J means ginger, T means tea, and Rosella is Roselle, another name for hibiscus. I see, a legit herbal drink. Spicy, but perfect for the weather. Good call, Arcapolisa. I'm happy to please. I mean, good job, me. You told me exactly what to put in there. What do you mean? If that's the case, let me join in the patrol, Pops. 'Cause I'm not scared of ghosts. Real beings scare me more. Wait a sec, kid. What do you mean by ghosts, eh? Jumping the gun a little there, aren't ya? I don't know, Pops. Maybe it's something crazier than that. This is a really serious problem, kid. Don't joke around like that. Sorry. Interesting. You know something? No, not me, but she might. She looks concerned. Right, the tree, wasn't it? Oh yeah. What about it, miss? It's your turn to finish your thought. I'm not sure if this can be any use at all, but... Officer, are you aware of the story behind that tree? Huh? I recall what you said earlier. People often leave remembrances around it. What do you mean by that, miss? Well, it's because someone passed away there. What? Allow me to explain. I mentioned there was once a flea market on that street, correct? Right. They called it the Fairy Market. It was unofficially set up by the transients of the community. Transients being the government's term for unregistered citizens, including all of the other uncategorizable beings at the time. Fairies were a part of that. Huh. I remember learning about that. After the war, the government made its first official attempt to sort things out. Organizing equitable classifications was thought as one of the first steps towards civil peace. But it was oversimplified, inefficient, and not speedy enough. Was all that before the Vindication Act? Way before that. Many who couldn't register were basically in administrative limbo. What? That's as good as, like, not existing at all. Really, that's horrible. It was the main reason why the fairy market was created in the first place. To ensure transient survival throughout the changing times. In more ways than one. The market had no real schedule, therefore, the start of Fairy Week would be marked by flowers strewn along the intersection, just so people would notice and come and take a look. Sounds kinda too low-key, no? Because it was illegal, silly. Oh. And that was exactly the problem. The market ran day and night, its format unchanging. At the same time, the economy was slowly reshaping and landscaping. People started to spend more, becoming reckless, while the laws were still shaky at best. Then a tragic incident occurred one night. A drunk driver was speeding and went off course, striking a vendor there. And the only evidence left of the crime was that tree, standing where there was no tree before. Wait a second, what? Why did I never hear about that? How long ago was this? The accident occurred in 1959, but the market itself was forcefully disbanded in 1961. Happened before I was born, huh? Yeah, I remember everything now. It was actually quite an infamous case, wasn't it? But due to the nature of the beings involved, most people couldn't help but, well, forget. Huh? We're talking about the late 50s to early 60s here. Post-war media was still quite scarce. And I remember the drunk driver was also the son of a very wealthy individual. Oh. Correct. But that wasn't exactly the part that made the case so infamous. It was due to the fact that no body was ever found at the crash site, as well as the vendor being a transient with no legal ID or paper trail. As a result, the court had no choice but to dismiss the case. But there was a body, wasn't it? Just not the one people might expect. You mean the tree? Right. When semi-spiritual beings like us pass on from the physical world, some may leave specific landmarkers behind. Not all can do that, though. Us banshees don't do that. You don't? No, we simply disappear. So if I'm getting this right, the tree couldn't be used as evidence because it wasn't classified as remains yet? The witnesses were in the same boat, no paper trail. So the driver's lawyer took advantage of those loopholes. And that's messed up. Beyond messed up, Pops. Whoa, I'm boiling. I'll take a further look into this, miss. But I have a question for you. It's probably like some ancestor being like, you literally ripped my grandma or something out of the ground. Yes. You think the vandalism has anything to do with that tree removal? Probably. I don't know. I suppose it might, depending on when the acts of vandalism began. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I better get going then. It's almost time for my shift. Okay, officer. Break a leg, Pops. I'd rather not. Stay safe. Will do. I'll keep you all posted. Please do. I better go as well. Got an early shift tomorrow. There's one thing that I want to confirm though, if you don't mind, miss. Yes? It's about the fairies passing and how everyone ends up forgetting them afterwards. I really thought that was just a myth. I guess not. Unfortunately. That's why there used to be memorabilia around that tree. They were efforts by those who remembered to preserve the memory. But it wasn't enough, was it? Else we'd still have that tree. True. It really makes me question my memory. Are there any people I might have forgotten? Were there events I missed? It's quite scary to think about. For beings like us, being forgotten is inevitable. So, no need to feel bad about it. Is that so? That's kind of depressing. Actually. Oh, I didn't catch your name, by the way. I'm Gala. Oh, I'm Lucas. Nice to meet you, sir. Well then, nice to meet you. Good luck with your future auditions, Miss Ryona. Thank you. See you around. Bye, Akablisa. Take care. And then there were two. You okay? It's getting really late. I still want to talk, but if you're tired, let me know. Have you eaten? Do you want something to eat? We don't sell food here. You don't? No wonder your place is always empty. Well, just kidding, Akablisa. Don't hate me, please. Well, do you want another drink, maybe? I wouldn't mind one. Nice. What do you feel like having? Something without milk, with a fresh feeling, and some brightness to it. I'm also quite partial to a blue PT. Oh, okay, I'll order something for you, may I? Sure. Akablisa, can you try this mix? I saw this pretty drink in a video and it looked perfect for Our Lady. Yep, what is it? It has a blue pea as a base, a lot of mint, and a splash of lemon. There we go. Now we're talking. Galaxy mint tea. Here you go. Here you go, miss. From the man sitting right beside you. It looks nice. Very pretty. I like it. Thank you. I'm glad you do. And wow, Akablisa, it looks exactly like what I envisioned. You're a G. I'm happy you both enjoyed it. But man, that whole case earlier though was a lot to take in. Also, about the whole forgetting thing, that really gave me chills. Why? Don't you feel scared of just disappearing in the end? 'Cause I do. That's why I thought I finally understood you too. I mean, the reason why you wanted to become a soprano your way. The traditional way. Oh? Care to compare notes? Because I've yet to be entirely certain about that myself. Oh, huh. Now, that's what you call a huge pressure. Before that though, can I ask you a little tiny question? Go ahead. What inspired you to go down this path? I mean, I may have an idea on why you're choosing the hard way, but why a soprano in the first place? Because it's been done before. Pardon? Because there was already a banshee who did it before. So I know it's not impossible. Whoa, for real? Her part was that of a sorbet aria, and she was not very well known. What is a sorbet aria? Oh, I mean she was the secondary character. Back in the early 19th century opera, sorbet arias would be sung towards the end of the second act, usually before the evening ended. Hawkers would use the time to offer their wares for the last time to the patrons, often desserts. Hence, sorbet aria. Oh, I see. Like background singing at the end of a show or something? Yes. Things are different nowadays because people are expecting to listen to the end. The first time I heard her voice was on an old recording of a comedy opera. I was still very young back then. She was playing a confused maid role at the very end of the opera, wondering why and how people could act so crazy when in love. But despite her confusion, she thought she wasn't so old that she couldn't figure out the reason herself. It was a funny epilogue to the opera. But hearing a banshee sing such a playful and light-hearted piece, it was truly an eye-opener for me. Oh man, I bet it was. Sadly, I couldn't find any of her other works. but it always stuck with me nonetheless. So I left my commune and started trying on my own. That's really cool and brave of you to do so. I agree. I have never talked about this before. It's a bit embarrassing. Nah, don't be embarrassed. I think it's super cool. You're just feeling inspired to push yourself beyond what's expected of you. And wishing to leave a mark on this world. Is that what you think? Uh-huh. You're just trying to follow a path that has been traveled before. And that's not always a bad thing, especially for beings like us. You're just being careful, yet courageous. Right, because the path you're choosing to walk is still difficult. Regarding leaving your mark, I don't know. I just feel maybe you're the same as me. Like, what's the point of being born if nobody is going to remember us? Right, Akaplisa? No comment. Was I born? Aw. Why do you want to be remembered so much? Why wouldn't you? Us Banshees see the end differently than most. So, care to enlighten me? I can't speak for anyone else, but in my case, I was a kid who grew up in a large family, you see? Like, humongously large. Literally couldn't count all of my siblings, even if I wanted to. 'Cause they're everywhere, thanks to my dad. Oh. We weren't wealthy though, not even close. The money situation was always suffocating us, for real. But sometimes Dad would drop by to give us some money. Though it wasn't even enough to cover utilities for that more than a couple months. Then he'd just leave again for a couple days later. Are you the eldest? Nope. But my older bros had already moved out by the time I hit high school. I was so surprised when my dad gave me the house after he died. Oh. Which is where my mom and siblings live now. I'm sorry to hear about your father. No, it's fine. Anyway, so my older brothers came back, right? They wanted me to sell the house and divide the earnings. Wanting a slice of the inheritance pie, huh? You didn't do that, right? Heck no. That's why I left for LA. So if they really want me to sell the house, they have to chase me. Good call. Thankfully, my younger siblings and I are pretty tight. We're a good team. That's a relief. But that was also why I needed money fast. I needed to send money to help my family's bills. And of course, so I could stay alive as well. That's why I ended up having to join the production house. The production house? Yeah, it's like a bunch of content creators getting together to make videos every day. I was young and naive too, you know? 'Cause it was my first time venturing to another state completely alone after all. So I didn't know better how predatory things could be. Man, this isn't even gonna be an entertaining story. If you're uncomfortable, you don't have to talk about it. No, it's not that. I just really don't like that production house. But I needed the money. Someone there saw my vlog and invited me in. And as one of the youngest there, I tried to get along with everyone. But you see, we were all creators in the entertainment industry, right? Which means we all had huge egos. So naturally, there was somewhat of a hierarchy of sorts. Trying to be an all-round helpful turned me into the butt of the joke all the time. That didn't discourage me that much, by the way. I mean, I also learned a lot there, not gonna lie. But still. Well, long story short, being tokenized sucked. The end. No disagreement there. Sorry, I swear that wasn't what I wanted to talk to you about. It's fine. I actually learned a lot this evening. I don't want to take up more of your time, so I can just ask you a direct question. Sure. Great. Would you be interested in guest starring on my new show? He's doing it! Showcasing new talents and stuff like that. Bug! I realized I was being dumb the other day we first met. I kind of forced my thoughts on you and I was just being a general smartass. I undermined your straightforward efforts because I was jealous of your solid resolve. Since everything I did was anything but... But you succeeded eventually, didn't you? And you worked hard for it. Yet I almost ended up losing sight of why I'd been doing all of this in the first place. I went with the flow, made excuses a lot. All to justify the gain, but to what end? That's why I've been trying to put together a talent showcase for those who need extra exposure. It's gonna be a small production thing. It'll be paid, I swear. And not with exposure either. Though it wouldn't be much at first, because I don't have that much money ready to use at the moment, so... wait, this is a bit sudden, don't you think? No pressure though. How does the show work? Well, I'm not 100% sure of the shape of it yet, but ideally it would have like an interview at first and then I'll record your singing. I'll bring all the gear. I will also be doing all of the editing and stuff. It's gonna take a bit of time since I still have my main show to do, but I did start my vlogging journey on my own too, so I bet you the results will still be quality. Your show will tank if I'm the first guest. You realize that, right? If it does, then it doesn't deserve to exist. I don't care about haters, but you do. That's why I won't push you. Ah. I'm flattered. But no thank you. Okay. Thanks for considering me though. Oh, she should do it. Thanks for giving it a thought. Maybe a future episode then. Maybe not the first one. That can be, or can feel like a lot of pressure. Ah. Looks like I have to go. Okay. It's nothing to do with what you said, okay? Just bad timing. Yeah, I get it. Cool. I hope we can meet again like this. If you want to. Maybe. I'll take it. Thanks for your time too, Akablesa. Sorry if I bored you. No, truly, it was my pleasure. Cool. Okay, I really have to go. See you around? Safe trip. Alright, see ya, Akablesa. Come again soon. We gotta check our phone stuff before it resets. I think tonight was the most I've talked in the past 2 years. And I'm quite glad to hear that. Thank you, Akablesa. For what? For being such a good host. I know I'm not the easiest being to get along with. Girl, you need some self-esteem. It's always a pleasure to have you and everyone around. Then I'll be taking my leave. Not before I do this. Alright. She's a 10, but about to marry a freelancing elf. So she's a 100. A wink. Do you think VR would really take off in the future? I personally can't use it for very long, but maybe that's just me. Having an ocean fish as a pet is so hard, especially living in a city such as Seattle, but it feels nice to have someone depending on you, you know? Busy all day today. Don't forget to drink water. It's coming together. I can't believe it. It's gonna be so good. Her song. Today's delivery cutoff time, 3 p.m. No night shift. I feel like I have a lot to rethink, but I'll see you again soon. And we'll be waiting, always. Safe trip, Miss Riona. Have a good night. Phew. I think I'm done for the night. I hope everything will work out for everyone. That was a long night. That was almost an hour. Sheesh.